What's up, everybody? Welcome back to this RWBY discussion for RWBY Volume 7, Episode 9, As Above, So Below. I'm Connor. To my left is Travis.
Hey.
To his left is Mike. So the episode starts off with the heat being entirely off in Mantle. And just Mantle. Everyone's freaking out, everyone's upset about that. And then we just kind of cut away. Anything you need to say about Mantle early on right now? People freaking out, just being cold?
Nah, it's just more build up. It looks like because like later on in the episode, like you see like there was kind of the result.
I fucked up.
I was like, well, cause I thought it was Travis for a second, and I like switched back, and I was like,
what just happened?
I meant to go click a button at the bottom of my screen. Instead, I clicked leave call. So I kind of lost that very end bit. Sorry, Mike.
Nah, you get. No, I was just saying, like it's just build up for like later in the episode. You can see the results of that.
Yeah, we see Pietro and Maria, so you know that's something.
They're still together in that house.
Yeah.
What about the name of the episode? Have y'all ever watched that movie, As Above, So Below?
No. That comes from a saying, though, isn't it?
I think it does. But the movie I watched was pretty creepy. Like a sci-fi kind of thing. It's pretty good.
The concept implies that the visible stars in the sky are linked to life on Earth. And so I guess in this case, Atlas being linked to Mantle.
Mm-hmm. So there's some trust broken there. Everybody on the ground floor is saying, are they turning off the heat? Why is it so cold? Are they doing this on purpose? And then it just keeps escalating from there.
Just a reminder to myself, Connor, edit part of that video out right there. Find a way to make it work.
I don't even know what's going on right now.
I popped something up that went over a part of the screen that I shouldn't have, so I'm just going to have to edit around that. But you'll be fine. All your audio is fine.
GG.
Rip. Connor, that's 2 for 2, Connor.
Yeah, I'm out of it. It's been a day.
3 strikes, you're out, son.
I feel you. I've been there too. All day.
So then we continue on. Council is still pressuring Ironwood. Everyone's been concerned about you having too much power, about you having 2 council seats.
My favorite part of that scene is when the dude comes in. Sneed's just sitting there like, I've got you, motherfucker. And then the dude comes in, the waiter comes in, tells him what's going on. He's like, oh shit. And then all of a sudden they're like, Councilman Sneed. He's just like, yeah. You've never seen him like that, out of sorts, not knowing what's going on, not knowing what to say, not having everything exactly perfect the way he wants it. It is completely out of his hand. He does not know what to do about it. He is not on his game after that. It's everything is after that, everything's just up in the air.
Yeah.
He was careless. One slip up.
And everything fell apart.
Sometimes that's all it takes. And it ends up continuing, but Hill kind of takes the reins, threatening to use her semblance to question Ironwood. Are you hiding any secrets? Of course not. Let me test it. Is that shit?
I really want to see what happens when she actually uses the semblance. If someone lies, I really want to see that.
I assume it turns red. It'd be interesting if it just made something else happen, like it starts shocking them or crippling them in some way.
Or it takes their arm off.
GG.
She had to sanguis.
Yep.
But before the semblance can be tested, Weiss enters the room like fucking that one. What's his name? Like Phoenix, right? With the objection.
Oh, okay.
Objection.
He's like, the wrong man's on trial. And she fucking starts playing the Watts dialogue. They talk about a little bit of his history. It's vaguely referenced about a paladin incident that happened 2 years ago. And
I hope in this next episode that comes up that they like reference that, because I want to see what the fuck they're talking about.
Mhm.
Because especially with the picture on the wall, you actually get to see the whole picture now. That's cool. I wonder if that's like Winter and I wonder if that's their grandpa or something,
I think that is it. I think that is who it is.
or great grandfather or something. But that is a freaking cool suit of armor.
But the Paladin incident itself might be referring to the mech suits that they've been developing. Because
I
we
hope
saw
not.
them in Volume 2 and Volume 3.
Mhm.
And those things are called Paladins.
I hope not. I hope that's not what they're referencing.
I think it is.
It probably is, but I really hope not. I hope it's something cool.
And that could be cool. You might have some sweet Paladin that comes out. Mike, your Power Rangers theory might be true. It might be the five-pronged Paladin.
I started having second thoughts, like what if it is? Because like I think last episode, like it was just re-reference again how like it was weird that there were 5 of them. So what if it's not 5 of them? What if it's 4 of them, and one of them's not actually a mech? Which
Like
I think at this
like the
point,
dog,
yeah,
whatever his name is. The dog one is more realistic, or more real than the other ones, it seems.
the wolf, yeah. So it's like,
It's
And if they do end up being that, it's gonna be really bad when Watts finds out and starts controlling them. What if he controls Penny, Mike?
that's what I'm expecting will happen.
yeah, we already talked about that.
It'd break Mike's heart.
But I'm looking forward to the next episode because I'm thinking that we might finally have Mech 5 proven or disproven. I'm looking forward to seeing if one of them is a traitor, and maybe that's what the 5 odd man out kind of thing is. In which case, it's kind of pointing to Clover, but we'll get to that part. Yeah, we'll just get to that here. So as the recording is playing, my favorite part in the episode is just Ironwood standing up and just walking towards Jacques, and you just hear the footsteps in the background, and I was just cracking up at the fucking tension.
Play it. Get up easily.
What's in it for me? A seat on the council. All I need is your login credentials to the Atlas network. You promised to make Ironwood's life a waking nightmare, and I will guarantee you victory at the polls by giving the voters down in Mantle a little digital push, if you will.
I was like, oh, it's about to get real. I thought he was about to go clock him.
I really enjoyed Jacques' freak out of the I can explain. That isn't real. Which, I mean, it's the correct response, but he should have been like, well, I was being framed, of course. This is, obviously, I didn't do this, just like you have your recording of Penny doing that, and it's not her. Why would you not believe that that's not me?
He panicked,
Exactly.
Yeah,
which
he's
is
like,
something
feels
he
kind
is
of-
not known for.
Yeah, so it does feel kind of out of character, but he did have his back pushed up to a wall. He's a rich, hoity-toity piece of shit, so...
It also kind of goes back to the theory I've had before this, where what if he's actually not a bad guy? What if he's in a situation where he thinks he's going to die, so he is putting on an act with Watts?
I think at one point he was a good guy.
I mean, he could still be a good guy for all we know.
Yeah, there might still be good in him.
He
So,
could.
and
He
this
could have
is-
been. He could have just been putting on an act.
So this is one of the reasons why I wish Adam was still alive. Because he had the brand of the Schnee Dust Company logo on him, and I feel like that could be something to explore in Jacques' backstory that would have been interesting. Because the Schnee Dust Company uses slave labor, they brand Faunus, so it's clear that there is some corruption that's going in there. Does it stem from Jacques? Probably, but maybe not. And I think that would have been fun to explore, and I just don't know if we're going to get that anymore.
Probably not. It doesn't look like it.
God, if Adam had just survived, maybe he stopped, turned his focus away from Blake, instead focused it on revenge against the Schnee Company. It could have been something. It could have been something great. You didn't have to make him a good guy, but you could have made him
He's still alive,
a pseudo return. There's no way he's still alive.
Yeah,
If he
did
is,
not-
then
dude. They didn't show him die. They showed him fall into water.
Didn't they
he was
confirm
stabbed a
did?
couple of times, and I think the writers confirmed that he was dead.
He did confirm. Okay, I didn't read that part.
But they've also had a track going in the past of, well, it's confirmed when we say it until we say otherwise. So
They change your mind.
it is a possibility. I just don't think it's going to happen. Adam caused a lot of controversy in the community, and I don't think they want that back. Which is a damn shame, because I really liked Adam. As I think everyone's aware at this point.
I mean, he was a cool character.
Yeah.
He had a katana.
Yeah, he was a piece of shit, but he was a cool piece of shit.
he had the worthy title of a villain.
He's probably the most composed villain we've seen so far that's actually lost. Oh, actually, no, if you count Volume 5. Never mind, let's take that back. Anyway, moving on. So Weiss arrests Daddy.
Can I do that?
Yeah, that was great.
GG.
That was so cool when he ran to the door and opened it, and then the big paladin looking armor suit was standing there. It's like, not today, motherfucker. You ain't going.
Where you
Yeah.
going? Sit down.
And I love that it was his daughter that finally got her revenge doing that.
Mm.
Sit down. It's
Yeah,
great.
he gets like
After
reprimanded
years.
hardcore.
After years of emotional abuse, he's finally getting some hits back. But we cut away from that scene. We go to Watts and Tyrion continuing their attack from the shadows. And we see that Mantle is beginning to full-on riot. They're breaking into dust stores, burning things down. Yeah, let's not like use that dust to like make a fire in our house and try and stay warm together, right? Let's just fucking riot. I just don't get riots. We've covered this before.
I mean, they made a fire though, at least.
This is true. I feel like they could have done it in a smarter way, but this is true.
The crystals.
Mhm.
Absolutely.
I just feel like, it's like the heat's going out, everyone's fearful that they're gonna die. I was like, in your situation where you're afraid that everyone's gonna die because of the cold, or that maybe Atlas is leaving you, like abandoning you, I just feel like my first priority would be survive right now. Not riot and get revenge, not loot. Just like start my own little heating the best I can.
Well, these people have been the undertow of this great thing up in the sky for so long, and they're probably just
That's
thinking,
true.
"Oh, are they finally just giving up on us, or they just like they really don't care, do they?" And that's just probably just the final straw for them.
Yeah, this is true, but I still, like, if it was me, I'd like to give these people the benefit of the doubt, and that maybe, like, a system failed. I'd assume that before, they just decided to cut the heating. If the city of Boise, where I live right now, just decided to cut off the electricity, my first instinct wouldn't be, how dare the government do that to me? It would be, damn, there must be some massive outage issue going on.
I mean,
there's
I'm
some
gonna be honest
real
with you.
hate there.
Like your line of thinking is probably not going to be like the line of thinking of a lot of people, Kenny.
And this is true. I'm a
be
much more
surprised.
rational human being than most.
He has he might definitely has a point there, because when my internet goes off, I'm not thinking, man, I bet there's something going on. I'm like, motherfucker, I paid so much money for this.
I think panic is more common than like going straight to, all right, like what's a more rational resolving this, especially because
This makes sense. Life shows this very much, is how different my reactions are to other people about so many things. Because when my internet goes out, I just think, oh, that sucks. I'm sure they'll fix it here soon.
Yeah, isn't that like, I guess it's like wrong per se? It's just because of the circumstances. If
I'm more like,
living that way, like
I'm more like, this is the only time I get to get on. Why do they hate me? They're targeting me on purpose. I know it.
GG. This next part though, ooh, it gets juicy.
So we cut back to them with Jacques being interrogated. But before their dialogue even really continues, Clover gets a call. Before anyone else, Clover gets a call and leaves the room.
I see what you're getting at here.
That raises some red flags to me.
Now that could have been coincidental, but I see what you're getting at.
it is somewhat hinted that it could either be, or that it could be Mantle troops on the ground, but it is still the fact that he gets a call before anyone else is aware of what's going on. That raises some concern. And I think they're either trying to call out that he is in fact going to be a traitor, or they're trying to use that as a red herring to be like, oh, he's actually a good guy. But I don't know. He fits the stereotypical bill of the traitor. I don't want him to be. I said early on that I don't think he's going to be a traitor. Like, he gives me the vibe of someone who you would pitch as a traitor, but I don't think he's going to be, and I'm going to hold to that. So that's what I believe. He's probably a
Lucky
traitor.
guy. He's gonna break Crow's heart.
You know, it happens.
What's stronger, good luck or bad luck?
We'll find out
Fine,
soon enough.
Oh, look, here I am jumping, and there's this rope that I can use to dangle right off. Let me grab it. And now it snaps. Oh no, what else is going to happen?
GG.
Their interrogation continues. Jacques ends up going like, I only wanted to win the election. Fucking Hill goes off at that.
Yeah, she hated that. She threw that chair.
Only?
She said, fuck this chair.
It's pretty much right after that the council finally learns about the heating issues going on in Mantle.
Mm-hmm.
Jacques informs them that he's been locked out of the system, and that this is all out of his hands. I feel like it's kind of a short-sighted for a city to not have a manual option to turn on the power or to turn on the heat. Maybe I'm just, again, rationalizing this way too much, but typically you have that as like the start, and then you move to electric to make it easier. But that manual system's always there.
I think it stems off of like the lack of focus on Mantle though. They've done like everything all for Atlas, and like
which I think makes even more sense for it to be manual.
Man,
but I take that as just plot's got a plot.
all I know is Jacques needs to be tried for treason and accessory for murder.
He needs to be tried. All right. Laws are laws, but I feel like right now you have bigger issues than just taking this man to trial.
Exactly.
And then
they're using those guys to take him away instead of sending them to defend the city.
Yeah.
I mean, and then they say then the other council people are like, with that availability access, what else can they do? And he says whatever he wants with time. So
fucking everything.
Penny.
Your 401k gone.
Hey, if there's any turrets in the city, boom.
It's only one way to stop him now.
And then that's when he starts talking about the project.
Yeah, Amity Arena and everything.
And everyone's still in the fucking room too. He just starts rambling.
And I think it shows how much he's breaking down about this. And that's when Hill finally asks him, "It's like, what are you trying to do with this communication tower?" And I love his response. You know?
You just said it.
Which
but
one
it's like
of these scallywags?
he didn't say that it was the communication tower that was his plan. He was just talking about the Amity project.
Oh, I guess that does make more sense that way. Because I watched it and I was like, huh, that's funny. And then I watched it again and I still didn't connect on that. So
it is kind of a subtle thing. I can see the confusion.
I wonder though, like if they didn't tell Hill about it, how this situation would have turned out. Would she still have been as willing to accept?
And how did Hill know?
Well, she was told by Blake and Yang.
Oh yeah.
She did. That was when we saw her semblance.
Okay.
I'd like to think that she still would have been as accepting, but I wonder if she didn't know like that this was the truth because she had verifiable evidence. Would she still have reacted the same way, or would she have been like, I guess, in disbelief? And this would have caused more issues here.
Yeah. Which could very well be the case. Hill was very unhinged for most of what we've seen. But this episode, she's finally asking questions, so that's good. I'm happy about that.
She's finally getting answers.
Mm. But, all right, so we continue on. You know, we cut back to the people, the good people, doing the rational thing that they do, and they decide to attack the military.
The thing that's going to defend them.
Of course. And what happens right after they do that? The Grimm are attacking. Oh, but we're taking down the military. Oh, we're causing more issues. I kind of feel like some of these people deserve to get killed by the Grimm, but
I definitely don't. I definitely don't think the two old people deserve to get killed by the Grimm. And I could definitely see. I think Penny's dad's gonna die here.
Yeah, true.
I don't know. I'm mixed between him dying and it breaking like Penny's heart, or Penny dying and Pietro sacrificing himself to bring her back one more time.
Yeah.
Or one more thing. He all of a sudden his suit turns into like this big giant thing and transforms and he starts killing left and right.
That would be fucking great. I never thought about that.
That'd be fucking awesome.
Instead of Atlas or Mantle.
Well, because you saw how chumpish those mech soldiers were, right?
Yeah.
Like did no
They've always
damage
been
to them.
chumps.
No damage and just going down like left and right.
Yeah, I think they're better at because when there was only like a handful of Grimm, that's what they were really like designed for. But they ain't designed against like hordes of Grimm.
That was like 4 sabers.
And even before that, when they get taken down by the civilians, it's just like one fucking bat with the pipe just takes them down.
The back of the head. And that was a pretty hard swing.
I guess so. Still, I feel like an android would be able to just be like, ding, please return to your house.
You wanted to be iRobot, where it's just like,
yeah,
go back home, sir.
Before I crush your skull. And then, like, that's going to be it.
But then the Grimm do start attacking, and we get the Primer Jailus.
No.
That is pretty much the same Grimm, though. It really fucking is.
It looks a lot like it.
In terms of visual description, it is. I'm really hoping once we figure out the name, it's going to be called Primer Jailus. I doubt it, but I'm hoping. Because it's a fucking name. It's because it's combining primordial, because, you know, ancient, mammoth, all that, within the fucking, like, genus or species name of mammoths. I put work into the names for a few of these.
No, we'll see. In the very least, it'll probably be close.
Watch it be like nothing like it at all.
GG.
Nothing.
Elephants. Elephant.
Elephant. Mamakill. Something like that.
Some ridiculous day. GG.
We cut back to Atlas. We cut back to everyone inside the little council room meeting. And Clover returns with Oscar. Why? Why did he go to grab Oscar?
Either that or he didn't, and Oscar just overheard what was going on.
No, he came back with Oscar.
I know. But did he go get him?
Or was he just like following him? Or like maybe in the area?
Oh, I see what you're saying.
Either one is possible.
He receives a call, he runs away, he comes back with Oscar, not anyone else of team of the Aesops, just Oscar. That raises another concern to me of if he's working with them, he might have let me fucking start this with more foundation, with more thought behind it. So Salem and Watts have talked before. This has been a dialogue in a previous season saying that they want Ironwood to keep up what he's doing. Because the only one who can kind of bring him out of that is Ozpin. The only one who can talk some sense into him. But if Clover is in fact a traitor working for Watts or working for Salem, that means that they would know that Oscar and Ozpin are currently separated, so they still would be able to execute their plan. So if Clover brings in Oscar, knowing that Oscar will preach to tell the truth, like he has been so far, I'm thinking that they're trying to use that so that way they can take advantage of it and then announce to the world that Salem is immortal, to completely reverse the message of hope that Ironwood is trying to send and turn it into a message of fear. And I think that's the reason why it's all happening.
Or maybe Ozpin and Oscar are merging.
That could also be. There is something that does hint at that.
Mm-hmm. There is. Maybe they're merging, and it's not in a way that he usually merges.
It could be. But still, just the fact that he came back with Oscar, that's, more red flags. It's like, all right, he's up to something. Why Oscar? Why just Oscar?
Yeah. Unless he's just bringing them to the team.
Which it could be. Maybe I'm just looking too much into it. It has happened before.
I mean, we also thought we were looking too much into something else we're gonna talk about in a minute, but there it is.
So Ironwood starts to break down after kind of hearing about everything that's going on. He's like, I'm trying to protect Mantle. I'm trying to protect Atlas, but I can't protect everything. If I take the military away from Atlas, Atlas is vulnerable. If I take them away from Mantle, then Mantle's dead. Ah!
I think it's time to tell the truth, sir.
I fucking the second that Ruby walked up to that, like you'll see this in the react if you watch it. I just said, "Shut up, Ruby! Shut the fuck up!"
I did. You know, I was like,
GG.
Says the other person lying.
GG. Now this is my favorite part.
I've never disliked Ruby more than this volume. The girl Ruby, not the show Ruby.
One lie, you're gonna. And she's to the curb. Come on, man.
It's one lie that just keeps fucking going, and it. I'll get more onto it here shortly. But Oscar does talk a little bit of sense into him, just kind of saying, it's time to tell the truth. You already knew what you needed to do, so let's just keep on that track. And Clover's like in the background, yeah. That's just speculation.
Well, and then Ironwood says, "Just leave it to me," about Tyrion and Watts. So what's he about to do? Is he about to go badass on him, or is he...
I want that to happen so much. We've seen Ironwood fight one time, and it was one of the coolest sequences of a fight that have happened, and one of the shortest.
He took that Grim down pretty quick.
That without any fucking doubt. Yeah, so they all start kind of walking out, getting ready to go and save Mantle. They're gonna go and help the people, all that jazz. When we see a butler. Is it still a butler if it's a girl?
Do that.
Yes. Wait, yeah.
It's a butler still. Yeah.
Okay,
but
real quick though.
I mean, go ahead, Mike.
Oh yeah, no, I was just saying it's the part right before that where he's talking to Oscar. I like to think that they're not merging. I can have an opposite stance on that. I guess the implications could be like that because he's saying stuff like this that Oz would normally say. But I'd like to think that this is Oscar's personality. He was like, Oz. He's like, yeah, you were asking for my advice earlier, and he's like, nah, I was asking for Ozpin's. He's like, well, I don't know what Ozpin would say. This is what I would say. Which that could go either way there.
It's
he
more
knows
of the
what
next
Ozpin would
scene.
say.
It's more of the next scene with Oscar and Ironwood that makes me think that they might be merging, or that maybe something else is going on.
Yeah.
So we'll touch on that here in a second. Anything else you want to say on this before I continue on to Oscar and Ruby talking about telling the truth?
Nah.
I just thought that it was hilarious that that's the butler from before, and it shows her again, and you're just like, okay, there it is.
Wasn't the same butler that was that Weiss ran into?
Really?
Right.
It is a different one. However, we did see her before in that episode, but it was like an overhead view, and she brought something into everybody who was at the council meeting.
Okay.
And I was like, before I had literally paused the episode and went to look through the entire character list for similar physical descriptions because I thought it was one of the happy huntresses. I thought it was the bunny girl, and I was like, oh snap, Zach was right. And I was like, let me find her real quick because she has the same color eyes.
When I saw her hopping, I was like, "Oh, I fucking know who that is. That's the glass
Is-
chick."
The second that I saw that clip in her hair, I was like, I didn't say it in the react, but in my mind I was like, is that Neo? I was like, I didn't want to sound stupid, so I didn't call it out. I'm so fucking mad I didn't call it out. I'm so fucking mad. It's the second time that shit like that's happened. I just need to fucking say it.
Don't be.
And then I
afraid.
literally put in my notes like this could be Neo, but it could oh that's what her name was, Fiona in disguise. And then I like later on in my notes I was like, dang, well I guess it's Neo. Like,
But we'll touch more on Neo here shortly. So Oscar and Ruby, they start talking. They're like almost flirty talking back and
They
forth.
are.
It's very romance, like pushing, in my opinion. But they're talking about telling the truth. They're finally gonna tell Ironwood the truth because he finally proved himself trustworthy in this conversation, but not the others.
I honestly think so with Oz or Oscar, like I think his situation is slightly different. But with Ruby specifically, I think it's only because there's less pressure now because all right, the truth's coming out anyway, so I might as well come clean. That's
It's
awesome.
still a shitty reason.
It
Good
is.
luck
So
in
much
there.
shit
Good
that
luck
could have
out
been
there.
saved.
And it was even more so because she was like, I think I should be the one to tell him, and then, oh, you're needed out there. I guess I don't have to tell him now. You can go ahead and tell him. I was
It's like, now she said, "Are you sure?" And he said, "Yeah, I got this. You go."
That's
See,
how
I
I
mean,
saw it. Yeah,
but I mean, like, just them talking, like saying the same thing, like at the same time over each other and stuff like that. It's cute.
It's a ship that I want to happen, but for all the wrong reasons. I know a lot of people that like the ship because they think it's cute, but I don't like the ship because of Ozpin being in there. But I also think that makes it hilarious, so I want the ship.
GG.
Like, I like the idea of Ruby and Weiss or Ruby and John more than I like Ruby and Oscar. But just because Ozpin's in there, I'm completely down for the romance. And I've talked
That
about
is
this, like, I've
kinda
talked about it
weird.
as a joke in recent parts, so I'll say it again for you, Travis, where it's like he's talking, or it's like, I imagine like Oscar and Ruby are kind of like, they're getting intimate, and then Oscar's like, all right, no, Oscar, this is what you need to be doing. No, Oscar, you need to pay attention more to this. Oscar, do I need to take over?
Oh god.
And then
That's
maybe
why I
like,
hope
how many
the that's
times has
why I
this
hope the
happened?
merge thing happens. If the merge thing happens, it kind of takes that out of play.
But I don't think it's going to happen. I feel like it would have happened before with any of his previous lives if that was going to happen.
Well, but they didn't find out the truth in any of his previous lives.
I still don't think that has anything to do with it. But it could be. We'll find out.
We'll see.
But before we get there, the transport vessel that everyone hops on, it gets attacked by Grim. These kind of like cool looking dragon ones. They look like mini wyverns. I'm calling them drakes.
Okay. They're cool looking.
That's pretty much that. Anyone need anything to say on that bit?
Nah.
And then we cut back to Ironwood and Oscar. And Ironwood having a horrified face because he's just learned the truth about Salem and how she's immortal.
Oh wait, I mean there was the hand holding, and then the exchange of looks between.
Oh yeah, Ren and Nora hold hands. I thought Ren was gonna rip his hand away at first.
He did not.
Yeah,
That's what that's a normal move for him, but this time he gripped it, held it tighter.
And then Blake and Yang, they looked anxiously at each other. So I don't know how to take about that. I thought they were pushing Bumblebee really hard, and now they're not. So
Well, she kind of batted her eyes a little bit.
Okay.
And then she kind of smirked a little, and then Yang kind of smirked a little bit and looked down. That's kind of how I get it.
Okay. I guess I just don't quite understand why they're being coy, but all right.
Maybe they don't know where they're at with it yet.
This could be true.
But yeah, she can't be killed.
Yeah. And Ironwood makes the decision to just, all right, let's just handle what we can right now. I think it's the right decision.
But on the inside, is he broken?
I think
Is this going to cause something horrible to happen?
I think it will.
Is this going to be something where he just goes in a completely different direction? Oh my god.
I think it could be, especially if, so I'm curious to see if we will actually see Salem leave her tower. this part, if she's actually going to be here in Atlas when the final attack happens, because that would, I think, be devastating for Ironwood to now have to fight her knowing she's immortal, and that's going to be what's going to kill him. Just like, get everyone out of here. I will keep her busy.
Yeah, that internal struggle. He's probably still having it. Like, is she human?
There's no way in hell that Ironwood survives this. We're all in agreement there, right?
I think there's a chance he survives. Slim as that may be.
There's a lot of people that are gonna die. There's a lot of people that are gonna die in this.
I don't know. I
season.
feel like they'll minimize it. I mean, it definitely like I guess in terms of the number of important people, there's gonna be a lot of important people that die.
I'd say at least 3 or 4.
I think Ren or Nora will die. Probably Nora. I think Penny will die, but possibly be brought back. I think Ironwood will die.
And if Penny's brought back, her dad will die.
And if Penny's brought back, her dad will die.
And the Winter Maiden will die.
Oh yeah, Winter Maiden's absolutely gonna
dead,
fucking
yeah.
die. Oh, I think
No way she
I think
survives.
Winter Schnee is gonna die as well.
I think Winter's gonna die.
As a martyr.
Probably defending the Winter Maiden.
I think so.
Perhaps.
I like the idea that she survives, but she probably is gonna die.
She's gonna die.
She raised those death flags too hard.
But before we get quite to that, just a little bit more on the Oscar and Ironwood conversation. Oscar's speaking a little bit differently in this scene. That's why I can understand you saying like the idea for the merge, especially, where he starts saying like, a city in the sky. I can't remember the exact quote. A city in the sky like gives people hope, essentially, is what he's saying, or it's held to a different standard. And then Ironwood is just he's kind of cut off, but it's like you say that like you were there.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking, I don't think he's merging. I'm wondering if that's Ozpin, no longer Oscar for that scene. Because then Ironwood, he gives that line of no more surprises. Oscar reacts very calmly to this, not the whole like, yeah. He's kind of got more of an aerated voice there. That's closer to when he was talking like Ozpin previously. You and me both.
So I'd like to entertain a slightly unorthodox theory.
I will
So
not
what
entertain
if-
this theory.
All right, Zach. Let's hear what you got.
Wow.
Why is he the hacker?
GG. So guess what? So the hacker this whole time. Let's play. No, I think instead of like it being Ozpin or like a merge happening, what if like he's basically disappearing, but Oscar is like getting his memories and his knowledge. So not like a merge in the traditional sense.
Mike has a point there. He has talked about he would have some of his memories and he would recollect things. But that has been something that has been said. So this could just be him pulling off of that.
So
I think we'll find out. I think we're going to find out next episode.
I think so too. But I don't think that Ozpin is disappearing. I think that would be an incredibly weak way to write Ozpin out of the story.
He can't disappear.
Yeah, I don't think it would make sense for him to do that, especially with how the gods set it up. It could be, you could argue maybe it's like a loophole and he finally found his way to die. But like I said, I think that's just good writing.
That'd be very lazy.
That'd be the equivalent of, oh, it turns out Jin's been lying to us this whole time.
I mean, not lying, but genies do typically. Exactly.
But it's still for saying that the rule for this character is that they answer any question, no matter what it is, so long as they are capable of answering it, which is essentially like I can't tell the future. If all of a sudden comes out, I'm lying to you, you can kill her. I'm just gonna. Why? What's the point?
I mean, the only way to
bad
do
storytelling.
The only way to do it is for her and Ozpin to love each other again, and everything to be, and her just to calm the fuck down. She's to calm the fuck down.
He just needs to give her the dick.
Here's the D from the O. A city in the sky is held to a higher standard.
That's okay. say that like you were there. Bring, bring.
Exactly. You
Banana
got it.
phone.
Or what if maybe he exists as like a spirit? Like eventually he just like fades out of him and becomes just like a ghost. Like a floating
weird.
ghost.
That'd
That'd
also be
be
really
cool.
weird. I don't like that either.
All right, Zach.
Alright, go left.
Ozpin's the hacker.
Oh my
Ozpin was
God.
actually a ghost and he was hacking this whole time. He wasn't actually gone. Like,
So we cut away again to the jet and how it's being attacked by the Drake. And the Drake's taking down the jet. And then everyone's just like casually dropping into Mantle. Get just set up for the next episode. How everyone's going to be doing their own thing, fighting the Grim, protecting the people.
and they're on specific teams.
I love the freaking or what's his name, Clover or Clove or whatever.
Clover.
Yeah, he's he's like, all right, let's do this. He opens up the door, and the thing's
Back
right
to the
behind him. He
Grim.
don't give a fuck, and just wham, it's gone.
Yeah.
GG.
He's a
So good.
badass. He's a good character.
He just doesn't give a fuck. He knows I'll be all right. You know, I'll be fine. I'm lucky.
It's like the lucky chicken Deadpool too, yeah. That's not a superpower. Yeah, it is. No, it's not. Yeah, it is.
It's definitely not CGI. It's definitely not good for like CGI moments.
GG.
Then there's the friendly banter between Harriet and Ruby again. Where it's like try to keep up. Okay.
Man, if all of them turn against them and like it's gonna be members of Team RWBY against the Aesops, that's gonna be interesting.
That's what's gonna happen. It's gonna happen. It's gonna fucking happen.
It could very well be.
And then we're gonna find out who's gonna live and who's gonna die. That could be something that happens in the next episode, or it could be something that happens later on, but it's gonna happen.
Or is gonna get poisoned by Tyrion. Oh.
GG.
It's gonna happen. Just wait for it. It's gonna happen.
Better not. I think Tyrion's about to go on a rampage and just start like ripping through people down there.
Will Tyrion or Watts die?
If anybody dies,
Tyrion will die.
Nah, probably Watts.
I think Watts is gonna live. I think they're both gonna die. I think freaking Ironwood's gonna get down there and just mop the floor with him.
I think Watts is gonna live. I think Tyrion's gonna poison Nora, and they're not gonna be able to save her for reasons, and that Ren is going to go on a rampage against Tyrion to get revenge. And I think Tyrion's gonna die.
Ass. I think if someone was gonna live, I think it would be Watts. He's too clever. Tyrion's not. He's kind of stupid.
Yeah.
He's a psychopath.
Okay. He's a fool in love.
It's
with
beautiful.
Salem. But then we cut again back to the mansion, the Schnee mansion, where we see Daddy being arrested and Whitley being sad and depressed because now everyone in his life is fucking leaving him. His sister's gone. His other sister's gone. His mom is pretty much not there. She's a drunk and doesn't do anything. And now Daddy's gone. Whitley's the only one who's now alone.
And the mom actually, she actually acknowledged it. She looks back, sees him running off, and she's like, and now he's alone.
And will she do anything to make it better?
Well, I think she's probably going to die. The mom's probably going to die.
Oh, what if Whitley kills her?
No, I think the mom's going to die, probably trying to protect Whitley. And then they're going to take Whitley somewhere else. I don't know if he'll join the club of everybody there, or if they're going to drop him off somewhere safe. Maybe they'll drop him off at Oscar's old house. He'll get some farm. He'll start doing some farm work and actually get his hands dirty.
Maybe Whitley will be kidnapped. If they're not able to take the Winter Maiden, maybe they'll use that against Winter. Be like, hey, listen, you give us the Maiden powers, or else we kill your brother.
Yeah, we got your brother. He's right here. Surrender, or we'll kill him. But would Winter
And-
say okay to that?
I don't know.
I think Weiss would, but I don't think Winter would.
I don't know. Just don't know.
I
We'll
think
find
she
out
would
soon.
for her brother.
And then you see
It's not like he's evil.
Then we see the butler heading on out, and she puts her hands behind her back and then starts skipping. And that
And
was
the
the second
music.
it was confirmed for me. It's like,
I
that
was
is
like,
Neo.
gosh dang. That's when
I
I started
knew it.
typing the notes. I was like, mother.
the freaking music changes a little bit. You're like, oh god.
And then she goes into a room, which at first I thought it was the Winter Maiden's room.
I thought so too.
But then we reveal it's a room with Cinder. And her, those two are back at it, ready to get the maiden, ready to get revenge.
Cinder's looking rough.
Oh, yeah. Neo, on the other hand, looking better than ever.
Aren't they coming for Ruby though?
Well,
I thought
Neo
that was
is. I think that is just what Cinder is saying to get
To get
what she
it,
wants. And once she
yeah.
has the Winter Maiden, I think then at that point she's going to go for Ruby.
She needs more power.
But I think if she ends up doing that, it's just going to be a bigger weakness for her. Because I think the Silver Eyes will only hurt her more since she has more Maiden power.
We'll see.
Mhm.
We'll see.
She did the
Tomorrow.
Yeah, the fucking just the ding. I love her in the hat. It's the little way of keeping Torchwick alive.
Yeah. Look, she did the torture cat thing.
I miss Torchwick.
Same.
Rest in peace.
He died
Moment
like
of silence for Torchwick.
I can't. Just die like a champ. Like,
He really did. He
died
did. It
like
was
a
so
chump.
fucking lame of a death. Can't wait for Salem to die from being eaten by a fucking griff.
Rip.
Or just it consuming herself.
GG. Just wasting away.
Turns out her weakness is water. She's just a witch. I'm melting.
Turns out she turns into Fenrir.
Then our series.
Salem is Ruby's mom.
GG.
Then our series begins.
Which is really
That's-
weird because it's a prequel.
Or is it?
Bum, bum, bum.
They go back in time even further.
Primer Jailus.
Nah, Cinder is Ruby's mom. I'm out of here. Like, nah. You better line that up real well, because you get a lot of pieces to put together.
Yeah, there's no way that that's true. But anything else you got to say about the episode?
I thought it was great. Lots of stuff happening, and the next episode is going to be really awesome.
I'm hoping. Looks like we're gonna finally get some more combat.
I feel like I feel like you're onto something with Clover, because like, all right, cool. Now the team assignments. You know, I guess the only like official one that we've seen like go together was Harriet and Ruby. But if they're the same as with the training partners, or like kind of what they were doing before, then that is oddly suspicious that he set the teams up like that.
It does make sense that would happen, because, like you said, why would you put their people that are their opposites, or someone that could counter them with them on the same team?
Well, I felt like they would have put like the Team Ruby in, like, kind of split them up like that, like Team Ruby and Aesop's, that people that were compatible together, rather than that. But I guess from the logic of like how they've been operating in Aesop's, I guess that would make sense to making more logical decisions based on how you think how compatible they would be versus like how well they work together as a team.
And then if they are all mechs and all like programmed by Watts, just saying, Mech 5 not dead yet.
I'm hoping I really am hoping they just like get into this giant mech. That's what I'm hoping for.
I just want one of them to take a hit.
Be Mech 4 though. You're right. The dog is gonna be the one that's like left out. It's gonna be like, what the fuck just happened?
You assholes! I knew it.
Oh, damn it! I'm left out again.
I was at those secret meetings without me.
That would make sense. But Penny doesn't have a. But Penny doesn't have a semblance, and these people have semblances.
By definition, like what they've declared, technically she does have a semblance.
Okay.
It doesn't. I don't know if it qualifies as an actual semblance though. So it's confusing. Like if you look on like her ability to control the swords using that tether, that has been said that that's her semblance. But what that actually means, is it just like it's her semblance or is it her semblance?
Yeah.
We just don't know. It's why I want one of the Aesops to take a physical hit, because if they do, and like it doesn't hit aura or something like that, I think that pretty much proves it to me. Or if like one of them bleeds and they actually have blood, it's like, all right, I'm just wrong.
Well, they're not all together right now, so their lucky charm isn't going to be there. It's going to be interesting. It's going to be interesting.
Assemble, and then whole Power Ranger sequence.
It's morphin' time.
Beowulf, Ursa Major,
Primer Jailus,
Wyver,
GG. No room for a fifth.
Manticore.
GG.
Oh wait, no. The fifth one would be since the fifth one would be I fucking forgot his name. Dog Boy. It would just be something like Zwei, the dog.
Yeah, little mini like they corgi or whatever.
Can't wait for Zwei to come back.
Man,
I can't wait for the dog to actually not be a dog.
GG.
Oh my god, what if it's fucking Ruby's mom?
Yeah, no, I ain't expecting that.
I'm a werewolf. Alright, I'm a puppy.
I mean, they have. I mean, those other people can turn to birds. I mean,
I'm just not willing. I'm not willing to accept it. I'm sorry. Like, yeah, I can't accept. I would not accept that. That is unacceptable. Like,
what color are Zwei's eyes?
Edward.
Ruby.
This is still a thing. Until the next episode, until we're able to do the next episode of Ruby D&D, this is still a thing.
Zwei's eyes are silver.
It all came together.
That is 100% unacceptable.
It looks very like a very different type of silver. It looks more like Mercury's, and he isn't someone who has the silver eyes power. But the fact that they are silver is fucking great.
Coincidence.
That would be a fun, stupid fucking theory video. Is why Summer Rose.
Actually,
stop watching the series. Right?
Actually, Zwei is the hacker.
Zwei is the hacker. It's gonna be Ironwood's gonna be like dangling from a cliff, and all of a sudden Zwei's gonna come up and speak. Long live the king! No.
I can't wait till they get more into Yang's Raven, Yang's mom.
I can't wait to hate her more.
Just seems like I just have a feeling that she's not as bad as people think.
Yeah, I think she's worse. She's a fucking murderer. Fuck her.
Just saying. I have a feeling.
I think, yeah, maybe one day she'll try and redeem herself. Yeah, this fucking person who's murdered hundreds, if not thousands, of innocent people just that way she can keep her own selfish clan alive. Good thing that she's gonna get redemption. Adam, though, fuck that. What? No. No.
Who else would do something like that? I mean, Takashi.
We can't give people like Adam
GG.
redemption, but Cinder, she's gonna fucking come back at the end. She'll be like, I'm sorry, Ruby. I didn't mean to kill Pyrrha, but I'm gonna fucking help you against Salem. It's all gonna be good. And then Raven's gonna have to come back. I'm sacrificing myself for my daughter. It's be like, yeah, everybody, we're so happy. But Adam, no. Fuck
Dead.
that.
Gets cut down and pushed off of a cliff.
I mean,
into a waterfall.
I just thought it was. I thought it was so sad. All he wanted. He was just obsessed with Blake. That's all it was. I mean, come on. People can be obsessed with people.
I mean, you don't need to call me out like this here.
GG.
She has no idea that I'm stalking her. It's okay.
Wait, is that a wig in your background color?
No.
No. Is that human?
I need
is
to
that
change my
human
camera
hair?
real quick.
Getting you.
This has been fun.
Yeah.
Can't wait to do the next one. It's gonna be interesting to see what happens, what theories pan out.
I'm looking forward for some of these to finally be proven or disproven. Even if Mech 5 is completely wrong, I'm okay with that just because I want to know.
It's gonna be funny when nothing that we say has.
It's going to be funny when Winter actually is the hacker.
Oh my god! I won't watch anymore.
I mean, I'll owe him like a pizza. I think we'll owe him a pizza and something else.
I owe Zach rocket boots in the D&D if she is.
We're gonna lose out.
The rocket boots are on him immediately, and then he's able to get away. I still want to know this. I really hope that he's able to get on because I still want to know what happens. I want to see if he is able to get away. It's going to be interesting.
Yeah. All right. Well, let's move on to the best boy and best girl, and then the ratings. Best boy and best girl. Travis, you go first.
What? Nah, I might go first.
All right, Mike, you go first.
Oscar and Penny was in this episode, so Penny.
Of course.
All right.
Changes. Gotta stay
Travis.
strong.
I gotta say, Oscar, definitely. I had a good, strong feeling about him, and then I can never remember her name. The Heart of Mantle.
Penny?
No.
Oh, Hill.
not Hill. Yeah, she really came alive in this one.
Mhm.
It was good to see it.
Best boy for me is Ironwood. He, a lot has happened to him in this episode, but he's still going strong. He's maintaining his composure. I respect that.
He held it together. At least on the outside.
And best girl will be Weiss for the objection and for arresting Daddy.
Objection.
That was pretty good.
All right, ratings. Mike, let's go with you.
I gotta give this one I'll give this one a 10 out of 10 too.
All right,
That
Travis.
nice build up.
It's definitely gonna be better than the last one. I'm gonna say 8.5.
I'm going with Mike. I'm saying 10 out of 10.
It's definitely leading into something that's gonna be a 10 out of 10 for me from the next episode.
Yeah, you got a little bit more combat inspiration, I imagine.
Yeah, it's gonna be fun.
Yeah.
And just to see if there's any deception or if there's any betrayal, I am stoked.
It's gonna be crazy when Clover deceives everybody, and all of a sudden you hear the people in the streets who are freaking. They're just gonna start chanting "Deception, disgrace."
Let's turn it to a
Evil
musical.
is plain as the clover on his chest.
GG.
Oh no.
Deception and outrage, disgrace, for shame.
Beautiful musical.
That'd be a first.
RWBY musical.
A RWBY musical. God, that'd be
God.
terrible.
I couldn't watch it.
Yang would have a song that's nothing but puns. I'd be okay with that one.
I wouldn't.
We would force you to watch it, Mike.
No thanks.
Well, I think that covers it for this episode. So hey, thanks for watching, everybody. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.
A special thank you to our patrons.
Hey, that's still not the outro that's currently going.
Hey, did you enjoy that? We hope so.
Hopefully you enjoyed that. Be sure to let us know whether you did or didn't by using those like buttons, the comments, or subscribing. And make sure you also spread it around to all of your friends, too. I'd also like to thank our patrons. With support like yours, we're able to slowly improve on our content, so thank you so much for supporting us. If you're not already a patron and you'd like to support us directly, be sure to check out our Patreon in the description below. We have rewards like stickers, shirts, behind-the-scenes content, and even the ability to make a major character to join in one of our D&D campaigns. Well, once again, thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.